Appreciate you hitting the button. Welcome to the How to Hustle podcast with Hype. This is episode 49. You follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Hype. That's HYMPE. It's Hype. It's not hype. I'm not geeked up. Special guest in the building for episode 49. Introduce yourself to the audience.
Jock Johnson of the Jock Johnson podcast and the upcoming solo show podcast. CEO, y'all.
Let them know where you're coming from, oh.
Coming from Jackson, Mississippi area. Little small town right outside of Jackson, Brandon, Mississippi. So I'm repping the state of Mississippi, y'all.
Shouts out to Mississippi. This is my second Mississippi collaboration. Been fucking with Unc for the last couple of years. Always been showing love. Been trying to make this collaboration happen for a while. Glad to have you on finally, Unc.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, so let's get through the rundown. H2H Cleaning. H2H Cleaning is the cleaning company. You follow that at H2H Cleaning on Instagram. We are here to help. All right, Custom Hustle Jerseys. Custom Hustle Jerseys is my clothing line. You already know how that works out. You pick your own names, numbers, colors, and all of that, and we get it shipped out to you in and out of the country, in and out of the town. Also, we now have the jackets. Custom jackets are now available as well. Prices vary on the jackets because it depends on what you want on it, how many things you want on it. You want stripes, colors, stars, however you want that to work out. We can make it all happen for you. It just gets to being at a price, but it's very well worth it. And again, in and out of the country, in and out of the city. How to Hustle a live show. How to Hustle a live show. Live show is coming up February the 20th. Get your tickets now. I got the physical tickets if you're in the city. I got the Eventbrite up for those who are out of town, coming into town for the show. Shouts out to everybody that's supposed to be sliding into town for the show. But that is at 4901 Catherine Street at the barn. 4901 Catherine Street out at the barn. Come down. Tickets only $15. And we're going to have a very interactive show that day. A lot of things planned for the show. Shout out to my sponsors on the show, Khadijah Soul Food. She's going to be in there with the desserts. My cousin got the Cloud 10 treat. She's going to be in there with all the Cloud 10 needs for your edibles. And we have a scented candle. A scented candle is going to be in there to get you smelling good and just right after, you know what I'm saying, you done had an edible or two and a cheese pie drink or something from Khadijah. Now let's go through the rundown. E-Block Radio Network every Monday on the E-Block Radio Network at 2 o'clock. GFT Radio Network 2 o'clock every Tuesday. Wednesday 8 a.m. and p.m. on the Kickback app. That is Central Standard Time. Thursdays WTNUphilly.com 12:30. Friday the I Say Podcast Radio Network at 10 a.m. and the THC Radio Network every Saturday at 10 a.m. 7 cities, 7 days is what the goal was always, and we almost there. Just to let y'all know. All right, you up ready? You ready? On episode 49. Bruce, the rundown is done. How important are you?
Man,
that's the topic for episode 49.
Yeah, that's a big one. How important, man. I feel like I'm very important, man. I know maybe not to some other people, but I feel like I'm important because if you don't believe in yourself or be true to yourself, you know, why you're not gonna feel like you're important. So
my bad, I didn't lay this out all the way correct. How important are you as pertaining to all relationships, all aspects of your life? Whether we talking work, we talking to kids, we talking to wife, we talking any of those different situations, relationships with your friends. Just you know, how important do you make yourself in all of these different situations? My bad.
Yeah, I'm very important to my family. You know what I'm saying? Very important because I'm the king of the castle. You know what I'm saying? I'm the king, and you know, I feel like, you know, by me being the head man of the household, I have to be on my game. I have to make sure that I'm a positive role model for my kids too. You know what I'm saying? So, and then for my wife, you know, she lean on me a lot, but you know, I have to sometimes, you know, let her know that, you know, it's not all about just leaning on me all the time. You know, you got to be able to step up and hold up if something goes down with me, to a point where if something happens, you got to be able to carry on. So I got 4 sons, and
them out. God damn.
Yeah, I got 4. I got 4 sons, man, and 2 of them they're on their own. One of them lives in Boston, Massachusetts. He recently got married. His wife is in the military. They're stationed in Boston, and of course, my next to oldest, he's 21. He's been on his own for 2 years now, so he's doing his own thing. And of course, I got my youngest 2 still in the house. One of them, I'm trying to get them out of here, man. But one of them is a junior in high school, and I got an eighth grader. So I
I'm
have
about to
to be,
say, ain't one like 13. You trying to get him
yeah,
out already?
yeah. He eating up everything, man.
He's a year. He at that stage right now. His
Yeah,
metabolism is on a beam right now.
yeah. But yeah, man. Yeah, I feel like I'm very important in a lot of ways to people, family members especially, and some friends. And I've lost quite a few friends that really looked up to me, and that's something I deal with on a daily basis too, man. Just the thought of losing my best friends, like brothers, and they're not here anymore. And you know, it I try to stay busy, keep my mind off of that. But man, yeah, I feel like I'm important in a lot of ways, man. Very
All
important.
right. So here's where I'm going with my answer for this, because the way that I was like kind of throwing it out is like how much of an emphasis do we put on ourselves? It's
Mhm.
really kind of ties back to the episode with Barb. Shouts out to Barb. I believe that was episode 46. It was the last episode of 21,
Yeah.
but it was how do you protect yourself from yourself?
Mhm.
So now this one would be kind of the inverse of the situation where it's like, how much of an emphasis do you put on you? Now, as far as it goes, like the same situation, like you're saying with your family, it's always, or should be, not always, 2022, niggas do things differently these days.
Yeah.
Uh, that the man should be head of household. So that means the wife and the kids should lean towards you as, the person who's the problem solver, to get shit done type of guy. And like you said, yeah, I need my wife to pick up the shortcomings if things ain't happening to work out this month. Something might, you never know what the hell happens. Two flat tires or,
Oh,
hot water
right.
heater bursts. You never know.
Yeah.
This is why I never understand when people always go to like, so I was supposed to spend all my money and she just get to blow hers. Why is she blowing hers? Why did you marry her? That's a definite
Mhm.
topic though. What we're trying to get to though here, like I said, is how much of an emphasis do you put on you? And for me, as a person who I'm the person who everybody leans to.
Yeah.
So I was always putting myself behind a lot of people in a
Mhm.
lot of different situations. Notice that I'm saying was and was past tense. Because I was always like, this one is in jail or that one's in jail. Well, I can send him some money and make his situation easier. I'm on the street and can make things happen for myself. If he tries to make something happen, this could get him some more time. Or damn, they gonna cut her lights off. Let me help my cousin out with this, or just any of those different type of situations, and then always just putting yourself in a fucked up situation. So then when I ended up
Yeah.
myself into a bad situation, it was like I ain't got nobody to turn to, which
Right.
opened my eyes to go stop doing that shit to yourself and put a more of an emphasis and an importance on yourself,
Mhm.
because all you doing is fucking it up for you, and nobody else is putting themselves in an uncomfortable situation for you. So that took it took some years and it took some growth and it took some evolution in myself personally to recognize that and then to implement it into my day to day. Even as far like this is something that me and you always talk about, like off mic situations, is with the podcast.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
this is why I pulled myself out of my old situation, is because I felt as though I'm going above and beyond and doing a lot of different things, and I don't feel that it was being reciprocated.
Mhm.
Um, so again, to put the emphasis on myself and to
Mhm.
put saying I got these type of goals and aspirations and things that I want to do with this, and I know that I can get there if I depend on me. If I make this about me and me doing it, I know that I ain't gonna let myself down in this situation.
And I totally understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because um, you know, I'm all about. I'm so I'm not gonna say emphasis, emphasize or whatever, but I've man, since I've been doing this podcast thing, man, my focus has been really into it, and my mind is working like clockwork, day and night. I'm always thinking of ways to try to make the podcast better, make the shows better, and I know
You have
that,
to.
yeah, that too, man, and um, that's why I guess I'm called a mastermind, because I'm thinking in my sleep, man. I'm always thinking about the podcast. Yeah, I think about my family and all too, but I think about this podcast because this is something I really want to do, and I do understand that everybody is not gonna like or do what you do. I
Everybody
totally
doesn't have the same. Everybody
they gonna
doesn't
have
see. Everybody doesn't have the same passion, drive, and they don't all see the vision,
right, right,
which is perfectly fine. But like you said, my whole hour of my days every day is my bad. Right now, I'm doing custom hustle, I'm doing some jersey shit right now. Somebody's texting me about a jersey.
Yeah.
But everybody doesn't see it and everybody doesn't have a mind for it. It'd be so many little things that I'll think about or pick up on. Like I always tell people, like, shit, I can have a conversation with my daughter,
Mhm.
and my daughter, she'll be 9, I think, when this episode comes out. In fact, yeah, she'll be 9. Happy birthday, Kyle. So me and her can have a conversation. Her and one of my little cousins are having a conversation, and there's a topic in there. If you're thinking about it, if you really like got your mind on this shit, if you really want this shit to work, you really want to turn this into a business, you got to treat it like a business. You got to treat it like it's important. You can't
That's
treat it
right.
like it's the hobby that we got on Fridays or Saturdays or Tuesdays or whenever the hell anybody records.
Totally
And
agree.
that was one of those things that I tackled on the How to Hustle seminars. Seminars are still available. You can be purchased
Mhm.
those, at the same cost that they were originally. But that was one of them things we tackled on there was treat it like a
Mhm.
business. You got to treat it like it's important. You got to treat it
Yeah.
like it's something that you really want to do. Because if
Yeah.
your job told you you got these checkpoints to hit all week, you hitting these checkpoints every day. Why
Right.
wouldn't you attack this the same way when you can turn this into a career?
Right. And I'm not looking at this shit as a hobby, man. I tell people that shit all the time, and I know that the people that do know me and know that how hard I work trying to continue to make this thing better. They know that I'm about business with this podcast shit, and I love doing what I do. Um, and you got to treat it like a job. If you got to treat it like a 9 to 5, man. If you want to be successful in doing it. Uh, and there's no hobby. I mean, yeah, I love doing it. And I notice when I'm doing my own thing, I'm working on shit by myself, I'm at my best, you know. I'm at my best, man. And I
See, this
enjoy
is
doing it.
this was why I brought this up. This is the topic that I wanted to discuss with you because, like I said, this is a conversation that you and I have had too many times to count on the
Hmm.
phone
Hmm.
about about different ways to tackle these situations and about podcast business type shit. And it was like,
Hmm.
how important are you gonna make it? If you feel as though this thing is important and you got to step out and you got to do this necessary steps to make it important, there's no ill feelings, there's no ill will or nothing like
No
that. This is it's not personal. This is business, and this is
business.
only business if you treat it like business.
Hmm.
I ain't got no issues and no problems with nobody at OLF. Those are my brothers since 1987. It's gonna always be that way.
Yeah,
I ain't got a bad thing to say about nobody. It's just business and not personal.
that's right. And that's the way it should be. Um, and I know that, you know, um, with groups, you're gonna have your differences and all with groups and all that. I mean, that's come with territory when you got different attitudes and views and on different
Mm,
things. I mean, I totally understand that, but as a group, man, if you definitely trying to be successful with this podcast thing, man, you really trying to be successful with, you got to get in and grind together and push this shit. That's one of my mottos: keep pushing, and I'm keep
it's one of
pushing.
those things that I always tell people is, I got no problem pulling a rope with you
Mhm.
as long as we both look down and our hands are scarred. If
Mhm.
we look down and my hands are scarred and your hands is clean and you still got lotion on your joints, we got issues. Because that means you
Mhm.
ain't pulling. You just
Mhm.
standing there holding. Like I don't need nobody to stand here and hold. I need somebody else to pull. But so like I said, I don't want this wasn't even just a podcast topic. This was about all aspects. So
Yeah.
this is one of those things also when you have kids, how do you balance that as far as taking care of yourself? Because once you have kids, it got to be about these kids.
Yeah.
But some people, but then again, like I said, it's 2022 shit. People will be like, "Fuck my kids, I gotta take care of me first," type thing. Even with
No, that
babies.
you know what, that's my main priority is my kids, man. My kids are my life. I don't know about anybody else, but um, it's important to me to. I'm thankful to even be here to still, be in their lives, man. Because you got guys that's alive hell and don't even be in their kids' life, but
Hmm.
they look up to me. It makes me happy as hell, man. Especially my kids are involved in sports. They play football, and for them to look up in those stands and see they pops up in the stands, that makes them even go harder, man. And I teach them the qualities of being a decent young man. My kids, nobody can say anything bad about my kids. If they're doing shit, I don't know about it. But for the most of it, as a father, And as parents, of course, my wife, we've done a great job. We'll continue to do a great job with them. And if you ever meet them, man, you be like, man, these kids are they really been taught. They've
See,
really been taught.
like you just said, for me, uh, your kids are going to be influenced by something,
Hmm.
whether it be the classroom,
Hmm.
YouTube, the cousins, or the little kid across the street, or whoever. And I got two girls and two young girls, one and a 9-year old.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like you must. The kids, my kids are far more important than I am.
Mhm.
Let's just start right there. I definitely don't come before my kids. To be honest with you, shit, I won't even put myself before my mom.
Right.
I told my mom this before, like if we both hanging off a cliff, I'm dead because I'm
Yeah.
pushing you up.
Hmm.
Like
Right.
so, yeah, I place a strong emphasis on myself, but my wife, my kids, my mom, like this is just a different situation with them.
Hmm.
I can't put myself before them because it's like if we got two pieces of bread, I gotta make sure that y'all both ate before I'm gonna even get a bite.
Right.
So I feel as though it's very important for me to show them what it is that a man looks like.
Hmm.
Not a male,
Hmm.
the man, to show them how a man takes care of his family, how a
Hmm.
man loves a woman, how a
Hmm.
man takes care of his mother, how a man is a brother, how a man is all the things that a man needs to be.
Hmm.
And I believe that I have to be not just present, because a lot of dudes are present by just being in the house and being around, but you're not
Yeah.
available.
Right.
It's a huge difference in being present and being available.
Right.
So it's a lot of times where we've been stuck in the house for the last 2 years, and sometimes my daughter just wants to show me that she can turn and swirl into a circle. And
Hmm.
it's like, you don't give a fuck for real, but you have to sometimes go, all right, let me put the phone down. Let me not watch this game because it's more important for her to just show me this
Shit.
and me to just show some interest.
Right.
Because it's like you can't never lose sight of the fact that you was 8, that you
Hmm.
was 6, that you was 3, and you were doing this same shit to your mom and dad when they didn't give
Right.
a fuck what you was talking about.
Right. Right.
But you remember if those times that you were being ignored and then felt like, all right, well, I got to go overboard to get a little attention around here.
Right. Right.
So you can't never lose sight of that. Plus, you gotta always think about it. It's like you look up and damn, they 10, they 12, they
Yeah.
15.
Yeah. Time
And
goes by, man.
now you going, hey, look, come show daddy you can do. And it's like, well, no, my friends is here now, and I got
Right.
this and I
Right.
got that going on.
Yeah.
So you gotta just be available. Like I said,
Yeah.
though, gotta be available and present. Not just I'm home, I'm here, but
Mhm.
we can't get a word in with you and you never doing anything with us. Like that's a
Right.
totally different situation.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're totally right on that shit, man. Man, I'm just, being teaching my kids the way I was raised, man. It was passed down, and man, I'm passing it down to them. I was raised by my grandmother, so my
A
parents
lot of
actually, my parents was
see,
Chicago
go
bound. So
see a lot of this shit though now be people don't be having those same values and principles and shit that they be instilling in their kids. They
times
let
are different.
YouTube, but see, that's one of the things I hate that people always do say when they be
Yeah.
like, man, it's 2022 with parenting or anything, relationships or anything, shit
Hmm.
goes a certain way.
Hmm.
Once you start putting in all of these new innovations and all this different shit, that's how
Hmm.
things get messed up and we get problems. And now your kids is
That
walking into school with an AR and all
that
of that.
that's
Like
that's right. You're right.
those is the problems right there, is trying to have all these different innovations and shit that don't need to be there.
Hmm.
Like again, this whole topic that we're going with is putting too much emphasis on yourself. This is a problem we got as a society is we think we too important. Like we think that the world, the sun and the moon revolves around us, and it don't. And you got to understand that some things ain't about you. Some things are about other people and the next person. Just like something we just was talking about where it's been 1,000 different situations that I'll try to put another podcast or another person in another situation because somebody could bring something to me and I will go, that's not a good fit for me, but I know it's a good fit for you.
You right.
So it's like, all right, y'all looking for a group podcast, but I'm a solo show. So let me call Jock and see if they want to do this. Let me call the weird ones or BTG, or like I can make a call to a bunch of different people for you. It's just probably not a situation that'll work out for me. But you, again, if you have it in your head and understand it, it's not always about you. You aren't that important to everybody else. Like, it's not so much of an emphasis. You need to put that emphasis on you, but you can't expect the world puts that emphasis on you. And
Right.
that's just like a thing that gets kind of lost in translation with us these days. Is everybody, because of Instagram and the different social media platforms, I can make up a dance and now everybody's following my new fucking dance. And now I'm the most important thing on Wednesday. But by Thursday, somebody else done made a dance and now they're the most important thing.
Yeah. I totally agree. Totally
All
agree.
right. I switch up the conversation now. The podcast goes into talking a little bit about Jock. Something I want to throw at you. You brought this up earlier, and I let it go because I knew I was bringing it back. Y'all took a break from the All Out show.
Yeah.
Y'all had took a break, and when y'all came back, you got on and said, "I never even told you about this because I knew I was trying to get you on the episode so we could do it on the air." You said that you lost one of your best friends.
Yeah.
God, it was
Yeah.
like your brother.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I totally can relate to that situation because I
Yeah.
lost that exact same guy for myself.
Yeah.
Funny enough, we was coming to Mississippi that weekend. My brother Chris calls me the day before he dies and randomly just says like, "Yo, man, I'm proud of you. Y'all been doing a lot with the podcast. I got a festival to go to in Mississippi, Isola, Mississippi, this weekend, and I want you to go with me." He like to give us a chance to hang out. We ain't really got a chance lately, and
Yeah.
it'd be good networking. So I'm like, all right, let me look up the flights or whatever and see what it is. Because then I told him my wife is pregnant. His wife was pregnant. So then damn, that's crazy. Our kids get to grow up together and all of that like we did. The next day, Chris dies.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah. I
you
remember
talked
that.
about that on the podcast, and it was like, man, I'm going through this and trying to get that, and I'm like, this is the reason we do these shows is because again, it's not always about what it is that you got going on. The shit that you're talking about makes it easier for somebody else maybe to deal with that. Somebody else may be dealing with that exact same situation.
Right.
In the
Right.
same way that you all the way down to Mississippi going through that, I'm up here in Philly going through the exact same thing.
Right.
So that was something that I wanted to throw at you on the air because I know, like you said, y'all took that break and y'all took that pause and you had real life situations going on. But
Yeah.
this is why we do these is
Mm-hmm.
because you never know what somebody else is getting out of the shit that you do.
Yeah. And it was a tough time. It still actually bothers me now. I was looking through some pictures yesterday, and man, it brought tears to my eyes, man, because I'm so used to this, this person being around, and not only that, but we lost other friends, man. Actually, two of his cousins. We were all like brothers, man, and they're all gone now, and it's tough. I'm telling you, it's tough. So I kind of feel alone. I got other comrades, but those guys was from the ground floor, man. I've been knowing them all my life, and yeah, it hurts. So yeah, it's tough, man. Day by day, it's tough. I think about it. I stay busy to keep my mind off this shit.
I mean, copy that, home. Like I said, I can hear that, because I've been through the same situation. But I wanted to
Yeah,
bring that up on the show to let you know you talking
copy.
about that can
Yeah,
help a million different people with that same situation. Don't
yeah,
feel like it's just you. Don't feel like I'm going through this and nobody else can relate to the situation,
yeah,
because the way that the world works now, and this is one of those good things about it being this many years, 2000, whatever,
hmm,
is that you can get on the internet and connect with people across the world who think exactly like you, going
yeah,
through the same shit that you go through, and
yeah.
it'll make it easier for you to cope with that.
Hmm.
But now let's talk about the All Out show a little bit, and let's talk about the solo show. When should we expect the solo show to drop?
I'm looking at January 17th for the first episode to drop. So I'm in works right now for the
January
first
17th.
episode. Yeah,
That's my daughter's birthday. That's Kyle's
yeah,
birthday.
yeah. That's a great day. That's a great day. I'm looking
And
forward to.
now, damn, happy birthday, Kyle. This is the day this episode is dropping, January 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So what should we expect differently from the solo show from the All Out show?
well, the solo show was gonna be different. Yeah, it's gonna be just a little bit of humor in it, but it's gonna be more on some serious serious topics, especially with guests, having from music artists to up and coming entrepreneurs. I'm trying to be more diverse with it. You know, people all across the board from different ethnic backgrounds, and whereas to the All Out show is more comedy, it's more humor as a group, and that's a group show. Um, so the solo show is going to be dope, man. I got great lineup coming up of guests that's coming on, and of course, yeah, you're going to be on there. So be
Uh,
looking forward to that shit.
And you already
So
know.
yeah,
Um,
so
this was another one that I got from the solo show. Shouts out to Q Lewis, the E Block Radio Network.
mhm.
I heard Q on with y'all, and just listening to the shit that Q was saying, I'm like, "Hey, Unc, you got to plug me in with this nigga. I like the way this nigga's talking."
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you
made it
know
happen.
that
Made it
copy
happen.
that. And now we
Made it
every
happen.
Monday. Him saying you'll be watching this video on Mondays on the E Block
Mhm.
Radio Network. Catch that
Yeah,
out. Let me
yeah,
check that out.
yeah, man. That's another guy, man. Chopped it up with him the other day too, man. Wish me happy New Year's and all, man. And man, great guy. That group, E Block Radio, man, that's a great group. Really, really look up to Q. Q is a very smart young man because he's younger than I am. But yes, he's very smart, man, and I admire him a lot, just like I do you. I could be in both of you guys because you
Yeah,
guys put in the work, man. You put in the
hey
work.
man, you can't expect the results without the work. This is why I always tell
That's
people
right.
I'm busy, but I love the work. I ain't never complaining about the work.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Q E Block Radio. They supposed to be sliding out for the live show February 20th, 6 p.m. at the
Okay.
bar.
That's
Tell me
what's
this
up.
though now. How is it working with your wife on the All Out show? Having your wife on with the team, having on with Rod, and having on with JC. How does that dynamic work? Because her and the ROD always going at it on the show.
They love to go in. She loves to get on him, but I have to commend her too because she's sticking with me on it. In the beginning it was a little bit different because we had another um, co-host on, but things didn't work out, and nothing but love still here. But it was another female on, by the way. Her name was the Queen.
The Queen, yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
remember those days.
yeah. So yeah, things didn't work out. Uh, so it ended up being just my wife, and in the beginning, after that happened, after she wasn't on anymore, I thought my wife probably was gonna kind of back down from it by her being just the only female. But no, she hung in there, man. She backed me up, and I commend her for that. And she gives the ROD hell every week. So it's comedy, man. It's fun. It's
As a
fun.
new as a person coming brand new to the Jock Johnson podcast,
Mhm,
that's the one that has the All Out show. That's the one that has the whole team on it. So,
mhm.
which episode would you say is the one that they should go to get a great feel for who y'all are?
Ooh, man, there's so many. I think
Give me a couple then. You ain't gotta just give me one. Give me two or three then.
now this recent episode, this one was just dropped the other day, episode 85. That one, and I would say episode 80. I say episode 75. I think would be dope. Um, Man, in the earlier shows, we were still kind of trying to find ourselves, as they say. But man, those earlier shows, check out the earlier shows from episode I think 5 on up to like 20. Man, there's some humor in that shit, man. It's funny as hell, man. So
Just like you said in those beginning stages, we all are
yeah.
rough those first couple of because you don't understand what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that was one of those reasons why I did the seminars, why I did the How to Hustle seminars.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I wish we had somebody there in the beginning to tell us like, yo, you shouldn't do it that way, or you should go about it this
Mm-hmm.
way, or there's a million different ways to go at this, and just give you those little nuggets and things that you just have no idea about, and
Yeah.
those things that will help you make the show so much better if you knew that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the main reasons that I went there. But those first couple we all rough in the beginning. It's just
Yeah.
because we don't know what the fuck we don't know what we're doing.
No.
And
No,
It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine for everybody to admit that the first
yeah,
couple episodes is gonna be rough.
we was fucking green, man, because we started out talking about doing sports and all that shit, and it turned into more comedy than it did anything. So um, that's when the All Out Show came about because it was just the Jock Johnson podcast in the beginning for the first couple of episodes. And one night I was just sitting there after an episode, we was just talking shit, just having fun. And these guys was all over the place. And that shit popped in my head. I was like, you know what? This shit ought to be called the All Out Show because we all out on everything. We covering everything, man. Just and then we're having fun with doing it. So that's what All Out Show came in.
The episode when y'all had K Renee on, shouts out to K,
Mhm.
and ROD wouldn't let K live.
No, no, man.
he was shooting his shot. He emptied a full clip at K on that episode.
That's
That
who
might
he
have been
is.
my favorite episode, was that one with K, because he wasn't letting her ass live. He wanted
Hey,
K. He was trying to get K. He was trying to suck K through the phone.
yeah, he was. He was, man. I'm talking about that's him, man. That's who he is, and very very fun guy. He likes to have fun, man. He likes to talk shit, and that's who he is. So hey, let him do his thing.
So before we wrap up episode 49, Onk, I appreciate you coming on.
Mm,
Been trying to, like I said, been trying to make this one happen for a while. Glad to be finally did get to make it happen.
yeah.
Throw out your handle and let the listeners know where they can follow you at, and where y'all available at.
Yeah, you can follow me on IG at Jock J Podcast. And of course, you can follow the Solo Show podcast page at The Real Jock Johnson. And of course, I'm available on Facebook at the Jock Johnson Podcast. Got a group page on there. And I even got a TikTok, man. I just recently started. I hadn't been on that,
Oh shit.
but I got I got fucking TikTok too, man. People been like, man, what'd you get on TikTok? So I finally put a
Gotta
page
get
up,
you on
man.
Twitter, Onk. You gotta get you
Yeah.
up on the Twitter.
And I got a Twitter page, man. I hadn't just been on it in a while. I got to get back out there, man. And yeah, but mainly I'm on Instagram a lot. I'm just an Instagram freak, y'all. I'm sorry, but I'm on IG all the time, man. So y'all want to check the page out, go on there and check the page out and click the link in the bio where you have access to all the episodes from the beginning to now to the present. Of course, check out the merchandise too. I'm promoting your shit. So
There you go. This is your time, Onk. I
yeah,
laid the floor out for you. Bounce
yeah.
pass. Lay it up
So,
now.
so check out the merchandise too. Just click the link in the bio and click on merchandise and check it out. Got some new stuff coming up real soon. So y'all check it out. Check out the podcast and of course support it.
All right, copy that. Shouts out to my Mississippi folks again before we close it out, y'all. The live show, February 20th, 6 p.m. at the barn. Tickets are available right now.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on. That was episode 49. We are